Alright, last time we talked about something on my channel. I don't remember what exactly it was. Hold on, I'm gonna go take a look. And it was about, mainly about Dungeons and Dragons. Oh yeah, the stories that were untold. Alright. So, today we're gonna be talking about my original character and how I created him and his origins. His name is Heki Akai, who you see on the screen now. Um, so Heki Akai was originally a human variant. I think he was the one that gave you a feature. I don't fully remember. It was like back in like 2E. But basically Heki was a human, and this wonderful human as a wizard wanted to study the arcane arts of every single thing. So fire, ice, everything. So he went to this person named the Creator in his prayers, basically. And at the time, the Creator was this like deity, and he said, "Creator, I want you to help me learn my magics and understand them more." And the Creator said, and this is gonna blow a lot of people who are probably watching this' minds. He asked Heki Akai, the original 12, to learn how to craft with stars. Now, what this meant is that he had to go through years of training, and he actually dual classed into sorcerer during his training, and became like a demon, more or less. And he wasn't really favoring the Creator, but he was favoring this creature known as the Overlord. And the Overlord was like, "Hey, you seem pretty cool, so I'm gonna make you into a god." So Heki Akai became the god of the underworld by more or less just powering his way through wizardry and learning how to craft with stars. And Heki Akai was like, "Well, I know how to craft with stars. I don't know what the Creator wanted me to do with them, but I'm gonna try it on my sword." And that's how Heki Starblade was made. And a Starblade in my world is one of the most powerful items within my world. It is one of the most broken items. It is my mythical covenant weapons that are incredibly strong. One of the most, like, one of the, if not the strongest weapons in all history. It's crazy. So, at this time, Heki was like, "Okay, I've learned all the arcane arts," because at this time he was level 20. Or he was like, I don't remember what level he was exactly, but he was like, I think I had like, I probably had at least 5 in sorcerer and the rest in wizards, so probably 20. I think it was 20. But basically, Heki then went on to build this place named Akai after himself. And his lovely friend Yellow began to build this place called Indonia. And you know, Heki was not the brightest fellow, but he knew what was going on. And Yellow, following the Creator, had also learned how to craft with the stars, and made his own star blades to give to his own sons. His sons being Benamon, and Benamon's son being, well, me, otherwise known as Ben, which was my third character. The third time that I ever played in my world, and the last time that I would ever play in my world. Other than Yusuf, but we don't talk about that guy right now because he's not important to this. And he's basically on a different planet, so it doesn't really matter to the storyline. But Heki was... One day he was like, I see that they're creating an army of the 12. And originally Heki was meant to be one of the 12. But he studied the dark arts. And that wasn't allowed within. Even though they did some really fucked up shit. Which I might talk about in another video. But who knows? Maybe it'll just be in the lore in my videos. That's what I'm gonna do. Don't lie. Anyway. Basically, this entire arc of Heki was... They made their squads at the time, or like their leaders, or their group. And he was like, alright, I'm gonna get 12 warriors of my own. And he asked the Overlord, Overlord, I need some goons, basically. So the Overlord birthed Cole. And Cole found this woman within Akai very attractive and had a son named Malcolm. That's gonna blow a shit ton of people's minds in my world. And Malcolm didn't really decide to be evil. Cole was basically like, you're evil, otherwise you're going to be executed. Like, this guy was crazy because Heki was like, I'm going to create a better world, a better place, a better humanity, basically. And I'm gonna create something called hope. Well, that didn't turn out for you well, did it, Heki? And honestly, it was a mistake. It wasn't my mistake. The DM basically rolled what Heki would have done, and that's what he would have done. Because he was basically like, I'm gonna die. What can I do not to die? So he was fearing for his life because the 12 misunderstood him. Because the one thing that he did during his journey was he was like, I'm going to go study the dark arts. And that was it. He didn't say what it was for, because he was too scared that the creator was going to get pissed at him and be like, hey, yo, bitch! Basically. So, he didn't say anything. So the 12 basically excommunicated him and said, get the fuck out or you're gonna die. And he had to go make his own country. Which I should have explained whenever I was saying that he created his own country, but who gives a fuck? I don't. It's still in the video. It's still gonna be in the video. So, other than that, basically, Heki was this really chill dude, actually. He understood a lot of the people, but whenever he started to go basically insane because of the dark arts, which he didn't know until later because he had read a different book than he should have. So his insanity really helped with the fact of like, oh, I want to get revenge, all that other shit. And that was the point in time where he talked to the Overlord and said, I've learned how to create things beyond gods. That's right, beyond gods. So the Overlord was like, okay. And he said, but I need a test subject. And the Overlord was like, sure, why not? So the Overlord became something more than a god on his first try. He rolled 3 nat 20s. I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. But yeah, basically, this guy, this new, bigger than a god, was like, all right, Heki, do you want to be considered something more than a wizard? And this is where we go out of character and say that the fucking Overlord just basically made Heki his own goddamn class. Pretty cool. Still didn't help him. So the Overlord was like, all right, we're gonna go to war eventually. And, you know, he wasn't that scared about it. And, sorry if you can hear my dog. I banged on my table and she's barking at me. 1 second. Just messaging my mom, making sure that she doesn't message me again. Anyway, so basically this whole, story of, like, how he became fear is basically, the Overlord said, we're gonna go to war with these Indonian people. They have Starblades. You have a Starblade. They're making a third. Which leads me to, well, the next person to get a Starblade. Who, at Heki's point in time of living, was named Vis Tatain, which in warrior means the willful warrior. It was a heroine that we actually met in our first adventure, and he later just became basically a DMPC, and he was like, we just decided to give him a Starblade, and he became important to the storyline, so the DM was like, I fucking hate you, you sons of bitches. And I was like, but yeah. Anyway, so they go to war, and Heki obviously loses. And in his losing, he literally basically uses the instant transmission spell and goes to his lab where he was working on Hope and just decides, you know what? Fuck it. Cole was there working on it. Malcolm was there working on it. Surely by now they finished it, right? Wrong! They had gotten some of the runes wrong. And some of the runes were even wrong in the book. So Heki became Fear. And Fear did a lot of fucked up shit. And to this day, Heki regrets what he did because he was afraid of the creator. He was not, like, deadly afraid. He was like, I don't want to betray my friend. Because in his entire journey, his friends would, like, you know, they would pick on him every now and again, and he didn't really like that, nor did I. That's just how our friend group was back then, so who could really fix that? Anyway, basically, the creator was his only friend to him, basically. So he didn't want to betray his friend's trust by going out and being like, I'm creating things with stars! Holy shit! But anyway, that's the original backstory of Heki Akai. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you like these D&D stories, please leave a like and comment so I know that I'm doing this right. If you want me to hear more stories, I do have all the stories of the original 12, all of the original players of my world, everything like that. But this is just the introduction to my first character, and pretty much one of my only major characters in my entire world. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed.